Hi friends, so today we're going to be making a paper crane. It's gonna look like this once we're all finished. So if you don't have any origami paper at home, you can just cut a square shape out of any printer paper or any paper you have lying around. But if you do have origami paper, we're gonna start with the colored side down. So the first thing you're gonna do is fold a diagonal. So you want all the edges to line up with each other. And then you're going to crease it down with your finger. Okay, once you do that, you're going to unfold it and then do another diagonal on the opposite corner. And crease it down. Okay. So you're going to unfold that, and then you're going to bring the bottom to the top, making a rectangle shape. And then you're going to crease it. And you're going to unfold again, then rotate, and you're going to do the rectangle again. And crease. Okay, so now you're going to have what looks like a cross here and then a plus sign here. And I'm going a little fast, so at any point you can just pause and then move on to the next step when you're ready. So what we're going to do next is rotate it so it's in the diamond position. And now we're going to take one of these 4 squares. So 1, 2, 3, 4. You're going to take this one. And along the crease, you're going to try and push that crease in a little bit. So going kind of opposite from the way it was folded. Okay, so it's going to look like this. And then on the other side, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to try and fold it in a little bit. Okay, now what we're going to do is push both sides in to each other. Like that. And press it down into this new smaller square. So we'll do this one again because it's a little tricky. Taking one of these, pushing it in, the one opposite, pushing it in, and folding. Okay, so our little square's there. There are little flaps at the bottom here, but not at the top. We want the flaps to be at the bottom. So the next step we're going to do is take one of these flaps. You're going to fold it so it lines up with this middle line here. And then you're going to crease it. So it should look like that. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Bring it into the middle, crease, and then we're going to flip it over and do the exact same thing on this side. Okay, so now it should look a little bit like a kite. So the next thing we're going to do is fold this top piece down. So we're going to fold it down to here and then crease it. Fold and crease. And then we're going to push it back up. Then we're going to flip it over and do the same thing on this side. So fold, crease, push back up. Now we're going to undo all the other folds we made. So these ones, and then we're good. Okay, so this is another one of the tricky steps. We're going to take this flap here and push it up. So it kind of helps if you put your finger here, but we're pushing along the crease like we did for that other tricky move to make a little bit of a pocket. And then you're going to press it down. So if you didn't get it that round, I'm gonna do it again on this side, so you can watch again. So we pull this up, kind of push it in so it makes a pocket, working against the creases that we already made, and then we flatten it out. should look like this, and on one side the bottom should separate, not the top. Okay, so again we're going to keep the flappy bits at the bottom. Okay, now this is going to be a bit of a familiar move. We're taking one of these flaps and we're folding it to the center line. So it looks like that. Okay, now we're going to do that on the other side. And increase it. So it looks like this. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So flip it over and fold into the centers. So it looks like this. Okay. Now this move is going to be a little bit like folding over a page. So you're going to take one of these flaps and you're going to fold it over onto the other side. Okay, then you're going to flip your entire thing over and you're going to do the same thing. So one side will feel really thick and the other thin. You're going to take one from the thick side, fold it over to the thin side, and then you're going to crease it all down. So this step is called the wolf. So there's two ears up here and then the snout. Okay, we're almost done. What you're going to do is take a piece of the snout and fold it up to the top. You're going to feel where it stops being able to go up any further, and you can just crease along that line. Okay, then you're going to flip it over and do the same thing. Pull it up and crease along that line. Now we're going to do the page move again. You're going to take this flap and fold it over. Okay, I'll do that again. Take one flap, fold it over, then you're going to flip your whole thing over, take this flap from the thick side, and you're going to pull it over to the thin side, and then crease it all, so it looks like that. Okay. Now, these are our last couple of steps. You're going to reach in and pull one of these skinny pieces out, and then crease it down. Crease it down. Okay, now this part is our head, so we're going to bend a little bit of it over. See, that's going to be our face, the neck. And then we're going to fold the wings down. So you're going to take one of these flaps. I fold it a little bit past the body and crease it. Flip it over, do the same thing on the other side. Now this is our last tricky move. You're going to grab two corners diagonal from each other, and you're going to pull gently. Be careful to not rip it, but sometimes it rips anyway. That's okay. Then you're going to do it with the other corners, pulling it away, and then you can just pat it down with your thumbs to give it some shape. So that's our body. Alright, so you're all finished now. You can draw a face on if you want, or just leave it the way it is, but you made it to the end. Good job, friends!